Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Cruz, and this is how I use it, my pedal board. I've decided to recently take a little bit of a break from gigging out and playing out on teams and things of that nature, and decided to focus on just in-house studio style stuff and the YouTube channel. So I've decided to put a pedal board together that would be solely for that purpose, and I want to be able to put this pedal board together and not touch it for at least a year, which is a huge challenge. Anyone who's a guitarist and who's a pedal nerd like I am knows how difficult that can be. So I settled on these pedals that you're about to see, using the Boss ES5 as I went over in my last video. Let's see what it sounds like. Okay, so I'm just gonna walk you through the rig really quickly. I'm gonna just leave the camera mic on. I'm not gonna do any kind of recording audio, so that you could hear everything as pure as possible, the way it sounds in the room. I'm using my T-style guitar here, and that's going into my Fender Reverb Deluxe and a Fender Blues Junior. I'm using the ES5 here. This controls a bunch of loops for me. I have all of my drives going into the ES5. So for example, in loop 1, it's the Deep 6. In 2, it is the Morning Glory. In 3, it's the Tumbless. In 4 is the TS Mini. And in 5 is the M drive. Keep in mind, I always use the Deep 6 compressor as an always on and the M drive as an always on. So even in every single patch here that I'm going to bring up, those two pedals are on. Here is an example of my clean tones that consist of the Deep 6 and the M drive. From there we go into patch 2 here, which is the Deep 6, the M drive, and the Morning Glory is introduced now. 3, which is Deep 6, M drive, and now the Tumbless. Then we're going to go into 4, which is the Morning Glory going into the Tumbless. Then we're going to go into 5, which is now the Tumbless going into the Tube Screamer for some solo tones. I am going to add some reverb and delay because my solo stuff is more ambient based and worship based. And that's basically all of how I'm using the loop switcher here. I'll tell you another thing that I'm doing is I'm using the mute switch. I've reassigned it so that it is now a tap tempo. That all feeds the Sailor Quartz through a MIDI cable, and the Sailor Quartz then tells this Boss DD5 the tempo that I want it to be in, but also the Strymon El Capistan. This one's mine, so they can receive tap tempo in, and it changed the onboard tap to a favorite switch. So when I press that, it changes it, the patch altogether. It's controlled by here, which is told the information through the ES8. So for example, if I tap tempo this, 171 BPMs, immediately the Sailor Quartz changed that, and it told these two pedals what to do. Really convenient, love that. Has made life a lot easier, okay? Out of the looper, I then go into this Dunlop Mini volume pedal, which then goes into the Digitech Jam Man. I'll tell you how I use that in a second. Boss DD5, then into the El Capistan, and then into the stereo Nunebur Wet. Again, this Sailor Quartz is controlling my two delays here. The chromatic tuner is always on. It's being fed by a tuner out of the ES5. That covers pretty much everything on here. I'll show you a little bit of the delays with reverb so you can hear how that sounds like. I am going to do a more of an in-depth video on this and how I use it But I'm gonna show you what I'm doing with the Digitech Jamman. I've pre-recorded pads and then loaded them into an SD card that's in this pedal. So for example, I'm not touching or playing anything. I'm gonna show you my D pad in the key of D major that I've already preloaded in here. All I'm gonna do is turn this pedal on. By double clicking it like that, it also fades away quite nicely, and it also trails because it's going through delay. Highly recommend something like that if you are a worship leader who doesn't have pads and a keyboardist to kind of help you through those transitions. Doing something like that has helped me out for a long time now. So that's the rig right there. As you can hear, it's relatively quiet as well. I attribute that to good clean power, which is coming from the True Tone CS12. That's the One Spot Pro. I'm still cleaning this pedal board up, but this is what I've settled on as far as pedals to use for recording the rest of my album, as well as to do some traveling if I have to do that. If you guys have any questions, definitely hit me up in the comment section. I know you don't see me, but this is how I use it, my pedal board. Thanks so much for watching to the end of the video. If you'd like to hear some of my music or get to know me a little bit better, you can visit my website at jcruzproject.org. You can also follow me on social media, facebook.com/jcruzproject, or on Instagram @jcruzproject. Take care, and until next time.